welcome
Dr.
Clear.
Sorry.
First welcome address.
Right. May I request Mr. Dr. M. Sheikh Kaliyar, Associate Professor, C. Abdul Hakeem College. Please welcome, sir.
Okay, sir. A very good evening to everyone present here. With warm greetings, it gives me a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome on behalf of the Department of History, C. Abdul Hakeem College, Melvisharam, in association with Department of History, Pachaiyappa College, Chennai, conducting the 7 days national level faculty development program on technology development in efficient teaching methods. I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. S. Sajid of C. Abdul Hakeem College and Dr. R. Sri Jayanti of Pachaiyappa College for their continuous support. I also welcome Dr. M.B. Mohammed Farooq, HOD of History, C. Abdul Hakeem College, and Dr. R. Saravanan, Program Convener and the HOD of History, Pachaiyappa College. I welcome today's resource person, Professor S.M. SHIVAKUMAR, Associate Professor and HOD of PG Studies in Economics, St. Francis de Sales College, Bangalore, to give his address on a paradigm shifts of education system in India. I welcome the organizing secretary, Dr. P. Kumaran, and all the staff members of both colleges. Last but not least, I welcome all the mass participants for this program. I hope all of you enjoy this session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your welcome address. Now I request Muhammad House to give you an introduction about our resource person, Professor S.M. SHIVAKUMAR. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Professor. Thank you so much. First of all, Assalamu alaikum. Very good evening. A very warm welcome to everyone once again. It's my privilege to introduce today's chief guest, Professor SHIVAKUMAR SM. He had done a lot of achievements, nearly more than 50 pages. But today I explain about his achievement very simply. Professor SHIVAKUMAR SM is surviving as a professor and the head of the department, the PG Studies in Economics in St. Francis de Sales College, Electronical City, Bangalore. He secured the 9th rank in Master in Economics from Kuvempu University, Shivamogga, Karnataka. He has cleared both NET and SLET. He has published his PhD. He is pursuing his PhD in Bangalore University. He has more than 15 years teaching experience in degree and PG courses in various colleges. Professor SHIVAKUMAR, he is also a good statistics, economics, and environmental science. Apart from teaching, Professor SHIVAKUMAR is also rendering his service industrial consultant in handling waste management and supply chain management. And Professor SHIVAKUMAR has been as a resource person for conference and seminars. He participated in more than 50 national and international seminars and has presented and published more than 50 research papers and reputed journals with his impact factors. So I once again welcome sir. To being a resource person of this webinar by the virtual mode. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your introduction. Now I call upon Professor S.M. SHIVAKUMAR, Associate Professor and Head, Department of PG Studies and Economics, St. Francis de Sales College, Bangalore, to deliver his session on a paradigm shift of education system in India. Floor is yours, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank all the professors, faculties of Pachaiyappa College and Hakeem's Degree College, and the honorable principal, and the other management and non-teaching staff to provide me an opportunity to be a part of this FDP program. And as I was going through the website of this Pachaiyappa's college, one thing came to my mind. That is, whenever there's a crisis, so there's an opportunity which arises. So when I looked into the history of this Pachaiyappa's college, so as I came to know that a great philanthropist, he established this institute 150 years ago. So the objective of this institution establishment was to provide education and nurture the youths. So with this small introduction, I would like to continue my today's present scenario, what is happening. So I'd like to go with a quote. A school is not paradise, but school is a place where paradise can be created. This is what the Pachaiyappa's College and Hakeem's Degree College and all the various institutions across the world and in India, what we are into. So the classroom, with all its own limitations, we have remained with the great possibilities. So I'd like to quote with Socrates' quote, I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think. So this is what I prefer. A teacher who are all here present and who have been pursuing this noble profession. We are not only to teach, to make the youth to think. So when they start thinking, analyzing, criticizing, when they look around the situation, so how to overcome the situation. So this is yes, me, sir. Are you able to listen to my voice, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Proceed,
Hello.
sir.
Can I go ahead? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Hi, yes,
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Proceed.
So with this quote of Socrates, so we are all here not only to teach. So the days have gone where the knowledge was in the book. It is not only the facts and figures which the students has to be taught in the education institution. It is the crisis management. So today the students who are all been in this pandemic from past 2 to 3 years. So definitely the students will come out with a better opportunity for a better living. So we are all here as a professors, teachers, and being the stakeholder of this education system. They're thriving to see that the education system has to be improved a lot. So all these from past 20 to 30 years, noble teachers, professors, they thought of bringing a change to this education system in India. So there was no other possible ways were there. And there's a new education policy 2020, which was to be implemented. But you can see this because of this COVID-19. And it has also given an immense opportunity, the crisis. So which made us to get prepared to this situation and know where we are being into a new education policy. So which makes the student community to think, analyze and criticize and to go about. Education is not only what is being taught in the classroom. It is not the facts and figures. It is about how the students has to take up this education. How are they going to learn? Learning skills have changed. So today the Google, lot of internet websites like Google, which gives you all information to the student, whatever he wants. Then what is the purpose of a teacher in the present scenario? So this makes a very big question among us. So what I prefer is, today the education system is not only to give information, it is about utilizing the information for the better prospects. So this is what today is the future of education. The future of education is not in the way of making student to know the facts. The facts are already been available in the various different platforms. It is not only the textbooks today. The physical textbooks have gone, the internet, online, everything is available through websites. So informations are there, but how to interpret information, how to move forward, and how we should make the students to think, analyze and criticize to know the values of education system. So today what I feel is, once again the education system is upholding the values of our education system. So with this quote, I would like to move forward. So let me know the statistics of our countries. So according to annual status of education report, this report was framed from the year 2013 to 2018. So this report suggests that there's a steady decline in the enrollment rates at the primary level. So the primary level, there is a decline of students enrollment. It is not only, so we will think that because of COVID-19, there's a decline in admission now. Earlier to that, we look into these facts. The report from 2013 to 2018 shows the sharp decline in enrollment rates at the primary level. So what is the reason? What may be the reason? The reasons are like the economic, socio-economic reasons. So let me look into it. So the dropout rates in the secondary education have been consistently high. So what makes the students to drop out at the secondary level of education? So it is also a alarming rate. And the third, the output is the more girls are enrolled in schools across with different grades. The gender equity ratio shows that the 21% of increase in enrollment of girls to schools. The enrollment of private schools has increased since 2013 to 14. So a lot of private schools which have penetrated to the villages, rural areas, and all the. So here what happens, the parents, the children, the mindset differs. When the private institutions penetrate to the village, remote areas, so all the parents have the mindset that the private institutions are much better than to the government schools. So because of this, the poor people, they couldn't afford to get into this private schools at a very early stage. And during this, because of their poverty and the socio-economic reasons, and the students and the parents, their economic situation will lead to a decline in admissions. 85% of schools are located in rural areas. So there are 15 lakh schools across the country, out of which 85% of schools are located in rural areas, but the admission rates have been declined. 11 lakh schools are government schools. So you can look into the statistics. Above all the statistics, you can see there's a decline rate at primary level, at secondary level. And the more enrollment of girls, it is, as we know that it is because of privileges, and it is the importance given across the publicity about the equality among the girls and boys has given rise, sharpened the admission rates. 75% of all teachers are based in rural locations. So you can just see the statistics. The irony of the statistics is, though the schools are located more in rural areas, more teachers have been appointed into rural areas, but still what we can find is the education at the grassroots level, still it has not been popped up. So this is what the statistical report says to us. So now let me understand. So all we are aware that, so today the COVID-19, so it has given a lot of challenges to the education system. So let me understand what are the challenges which are faced across the country. The first challenge is like child nutrition. The child nutrition. So in the developed countries, most of the parents, 60% of the children are been having their education in government schools in developed countries. So the irony of our developing country. If you look across the developed countries, most of the schools are run by the government and which has an efficient education system. The reason is the nutritional food available to the children at these government schools are high. So more number of students are getting enrolled at developed countries. But in India, you can see the child nutrition is also plays one of a important role where the students are denied with. Here, the minimal food is what provided. Nutritional food, which is another concern which has to be addressed. Next is the parents' dilemma. Always, whenever a parents, so the poor children, they do not have any facilities or any support to get into the education system. When these poor kids walk away from his place and he sees to any private schools, what you can see is, you can see their parents nurturing the children, taking care of those kids, and the school, the students, how they have been, these children have been treated. So this makes these rural children where they have been neglected with this minimum education system. So there's a parents have a dilemma that whether they have to make the students to join the government schools or private schools. Social isolation. So still today in India, you can find isolation in the sense about the casteism exists. in different village, rural areas. So where there's a social isolation among the regionalities which still exist, which also hampers the students' education system. Non-rivalry of the resources, non-availability of all the resources, in the sense the teaching aids, kits, and the teacher training programs, which are still lacks in rural areas. The dropout rates are high in rural areas. Awareness programs, training to the use of online tools, which is still at an infant stage. And you all know that FDP programs, which are been continuously been popped up in various institutions, making us as a teacher to get known to this. This is what you can see what's happening. And difficulty in navigate impact of campus placements. The next comes about the placement. So the placement is worst in India and compared to any other country. So here the placement is a concept which is only at the higher education. So when the students completes its graduation, there the placement comes into picture. But the new education system has brought a wonderful idea within it. The students are made free to walk out at various levels of his pursuing his education level. He can go back, take a break to his convenience, to his any economic reasons. He can work, can come back, and he can continue his education. So education become an aspiring dream to the youths in future days. It is not so that if the time is gone, education is gone. The time has gone. Those times are gone. Where every parent used to tell to a kid that, so it's the time for you to get educated. The time constraint was there for the students. But now the time constraint has been removed. And every student has a right and has an aim or a dream where he can pursue his higher education at any point of time. And this is another advantage of this new education system. Students are made aware of the importance of education, and he is free to walk in and walk out from this education system, and he can avail the benefits. The assessment procedures which have been across the institutions, which is also made in the initial stage may be tougher, but coming days it may find easy. And there's a multidisciplinary of subjects which has been taught, the present education system. And there is a multilingual languages which have been taught to the students at the very initial stages, which make the students to know about the various other cultures and other disciplines. And there is so the digital divide, which was earlier happened from past 10 years. So today, so earlier we used to say in India more than 25 lakh students every year will enroll for distance education. The distance education was a mode of education where the students used to aspire to complete their education doing his work. But today, this distance education has been converted into an online education. So there is no obstacles or any hindrances for the students who is pursuing his education, where the online education, the mode, it has become a very simpler and common mode for everyone. Whether he is on a regular mode, earlier there was two diversification, regular mode and distance mode. Now there is a gap between these two has been reduced. So today there is no gap between a regular mode or a distance mode. So the online has brought up these two arena of groups of students and the two sectors, societies, where the students at the earliest stage they suffer to overcome their economic situation and they may not able to pursue their higher education. That as the gap has been reduced. And the students who are in regular mode, where the parents strive to bring into this education system, so they are also been given a reduction. So the online mode has made all the students to made available to get into this education system. So this online has come up with a lot of various platforms, which is very easily accessible to all remote areas of our country. So still the gap has to be reduced in this regard. And there are a lot of challenges which not only the faculties or the teachers or the students domain who are looking ahead of this situation, but the crisis, whenever any economy goes within crisis. So there is a new era which always open up the education system. So during these past 2 years, the most challenges which has been arised is in education system, and most of the changes development has also been brought in this education system. So this is, we have to be proud to say that so India has a new education system, and new thoughts, ideas have been made to evolve during this stages. So now let me understand what are those challenges which the education system is going to go across. It is so there are e-learning gateways, a lot of e-learning possibilities, websites have opened up. The government interventions have been into this, like MOOC websites where a lot of online programs have been implemented, and all those programs which have been introduced by the government through this online platform are all been monitored by the IIMs, IITs, and very efficient and very productive output can be expected among the students. So today education is not not just only a formal way. Anybody can at any point of time, whether he is an arts graduate, whether he is an illiterate, he can show an interest. Education is not that only a people who has offered to have would be having it. No, it has gone. Any student at any corner, at any point from our country to any parts of the world, is very easy to access to the education content, educative content, and he can pursue his education. So distance education learning has become a very easiest path. There are like short-term courses which makes the students very attractive to take up this. And teachers' knowledge and diversification has also been moved across. So it is not the situation only the scientists are the they are going to take forward the society. It is now political scientists, economic scientists are the scientists, social scientists, who are the other various multidisciplinary. So whenever any crisis arises, it's the multidisciplinary action to be taken, and it is a culmination of various other subjects which definitely will give us a solution. So today you can see this COVID-19 has given us an ample opportunity to see that various other forms of other streams of faculties, subjects have been given in more importance. Today, say the society, the study of society, the political scientists, the social scientists are much more in need to this situation, to take care of this situation. So now let me look into this. The number of learners, when you look into the last year's statistics, it shows that it is given on the day wise for the last February to March of last year. You can see the number of learners have increased due to the closure of schools. As the schools were closed, but the students' rate, you can just observe the learners have been increased drastically. It has increased to 1.4 billion. So what we can understand is the students of the present generation have tried to cope up with the technology, and it now made them to get into the technology. The technology savvy and the whatever the technology which was been there to the past year, which has showed a way for a new way of education system. So as the students in the rural areas, they may not be able to go to the schools to pursue their education. But this online education, an interactive session of both the online and offline, has given a way for enrollment of more number of learners during this past 1 year. So you can this is another comparison statement what I have taken against the poverty rate and the broadband adoption rate. So you can just observe whichever those city areas where the poverty rate was more, you can see the broadband adoption rate was less. And where the poverty is less than 10%, that is the urban areas, you can see the broadband where adoption rate is high. That is what the transmission of this internet facilities to the rural areas are much very less when compared to this other areas. So this is quite a very interesting statistics. So where the government has to look upon to see that the broadband strength has to be increased to the rural areas. where we can attract less than 10% poverty rate, where we can see that more the poverty, the less the broadband, which is accessible to the rural areas. So the other various platforms what we can look across is like a lot of various websites have come across with different modules and different teaching aids and tools like ThinkLink, Bouncy, Edpuzzle, Kaltura, Neopod, Peerdeck, and Skill. So these are various platforms which are made available to the faculties to have the tools to enhance their teaching skills. So the few recommendations which I would like to suggest is like educational TV programs. So we have an entertainment. So all these days we found that the mobile was used to only for gaming. So but today the same children, the students have realized that no more a mobile is like a chat box or a gaming kit. It's another educative content where it can be used for learning purpose, and the languages barrier has been overcome. So there is a affordable electronic gadgets which are available. Government intervention in providing learning, laptop facilities are made available to all schools, to teachers are getting trained, and the artificial intelligence which has enhanced this e-learning delivery, and the companies, a lot of private entrepreneurs come up with a lot of modules where more number of students have been attracted for this new way of education system. Yeah, I would like to share another slide. 1 minute.
Sir, please unmute your mic, sir.
1 minute, sir. I would like to share another slide.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we look into this last 50 years of our education system, so what we can find is, so our education system was like a rote learning, where the students were given only the information. But today the education system has changed. So the new era of education system, which has made the student to look at all avenues of all faculties of subjects. So for example, if a student would like to pursue engineering, but he is also been given an opportunity to know about the society. So there is a multidisciplinary subjects which were introduced into this new education system, which makes the student to more aware of the economic system and the society where he lives in, and his contribution to the society will also plays a very important role. So no more the students will become more selfish about their own living. They definitely would like to look across about the country people, and the nation, and they definitely would like to contribute to looking into this present situation. So this is also another a new gateway of making the children aware of the present economic system and the past. So from last 50 years, you can see there is a huge growth of this education at all different levels. But a lot of educationists and philanthropists were suggesting to bring up this change of less about to introduce other disciplinaries with the course subjects. It has been introduced, and it has a very immense and very effective impact on the students' views and the students' mindset. So this will also definitely will bring a change in our education system. Today, present, I do agree with the present education system, which is like a paradigm, a sudden shift. This sudden shift will definitely going to bring out a lot of challenges in our education system. So let me understand the various different challenges which will be overcome. So today in higher education, like many universities, so they have already started changing their traditional way of examinations. So there's online exam. So there is a present the new education system has given a 60 and 40. The 60% of offline classes and 40% of online classes which have been introduced and which has going to replace our traditional way of examinations and assessment tools which have been used in the present situation for grading the students or assessing the students, and the present situation of the grading of schools is going to change. And according to the UNICEF, so there are among 153 countries, so there are almost 98.6% of world's students population which have been impacted with this COVID-19. And so this shows that so the importance of education system across the world. A lot of changes have been inevitable in other developed countries, but India was been more awaiting to this change, and this has we have been to take up this change. So let us understand what are those challenges. The main challenges of this new mode of education system is about the unintended strain on healthcare. So here the workforce which have been under a great risk of say infection, and the economic status of these family members, so they wouldn't able to take up their children to their schools to colleges. So this is once again another economic challenges which the parents has to come across in coming days because of this unemployment situation which is going to arise rampant, and the parents couldn't afford to pay the fees, the minimal fees to the children's education. So there is another challenge is unequal access to technology. So there is we can, as I said you, that the broadband width, which shows that the more areas which are under poverty are less access to this technology. So there is an unequal access to this technology, which may lead to an diversification or a divide. It divides the knowledge among the students. So where only a few students would be able to afford to have the knowledge through online programs, and the rest may be denied to have this education system. Next is childcare. So in India, you can just find so the nutrition. So if you want to talk about a good education system in India, so there is another parallel the programs has to be run, that is the food and nutritional security. So the government has to look into this, where the children should be provided with nutritional food, and that is the midday program. All these programs has to be operated, has to go hand in hand. And this is once again another challenges due to the of much more the students are come from very poverty areas. And next is about the passive learning among the students. So this online has make the students to go.
Professor, any
passive
PPT
learning.
is there?
No, sir, the PPT is not this. PPT.
Okay.
Yeah, that is getting started. So teachers, so the passive learning by the students. So today this new pandemic, this is online teaching, and about this is also going to give an rise to another challenges. The challenge is about passive learning. So here the self-learning will be given more important. The students have to be made to known to their area of interest at the very earliest stages. The new education system has given an ample opportunity among the teachers and the faculties to identify the students at their potential at very earliest stage, and a lot of programs parallelly the students can take up through online, through various government recognized program, internet courses, where he can develop his other areas like of his interest along with this core education. So this is another one added plus point, where the students without sacrificing his interest and his hobbies, he can pursue his education. So because we all know that, so in India the most students at the stage of education, so they are being pressurized to go to schools. So there is a lot of pressure among the children on education, but there is a less importance given on like sports, other curricular activities. But now this new education system has given an ample opportunities for the students community to take their dreams to forward parallelly along with this education system. And there's a new format of these admissions where the students can be made available. So now let me understand the impact on these rural areas. Almost there are 32 lakh students among the rural areas are going to affect from this new pandemic situation, where 23.8% of Indian households they have only internet access household, and 14.9% has an access in urban areas. 42% have an access to internet. So what this shows us, it shows that the young people accessing to the internet is been very less. So the government has to take this digitalization of this internet into rural areas, and they have to see that the schools should become an education institutions which get tied up with NGOs, organizations, and there should be a broad network connected through the rural areas from like Gram Panchayat to village Panchayat to the Taluk level. So there's a internet connectivity, and the connectivity of the schools and colleges. They should be interconnected. So any schools and colleges nearby, if they have the accessibility like the various facilities, it has to be shared among the other children too. So this digital divide can be brought reduced. The initiatives among the government, what we can see across is like SWAYAM, online courses have been brought up in this SWAYAM, Diksha portal, and all other various programs like PG under MOKAD, PG Patashala, and UGC has taken up a lot of various online programs which have been run by IITs and IIMs, which is going to be benefited to the student community, and the InflibLitNet and various other channels, eVidya, and other various national channels which have been streamlined. But we have to make this students to get more access to this, like Shikshavani, which has been on e-Vidya on radio, Shikshavani to televisions, so on various other programs which the government has taken up has to be brought. So, like finally to conclude that, so today the present scenario is about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, which has given rise to an platform where the student can be access to this new education system. And today, the students have to be get tied with the available opportunities. So there, what I understand is the philanthropist or the industrialist who are been nearby to the, so there should be a tied up knowledge among the education institutions, industries, where there should be a bridge. The bridge has to be reduced. So what I come across is today the placement has become a new business. Industries, they are into a profit mode. They will only talk about the resources, and they're not been involved about the human resources. The human resource has to be given more importance, and there should be a tied up with industries to education. So whatever has been taught in schools is to be implemented, and it has to be practiced. The student has to be made aware of his knowledge, the proficiency of his knowledge, and the industries, they has to get tied up with these institutions for a long-term basis, and where the students has to be given an ample opportunity where they can guide it, train, and there should be a guarantee among the students community about the placement service. So today, employment has become another crisis. In coming days, in next 10 years, the India is going to have a lot of crisis about employment. So what the best can we do to overcome this employment? So so what I suggest is a very simple is, so when you look into this economic system, so it is about the distribution of resources to have an economy. In economy, what happens? When the resources are available, the resources has to be utilized, goods are produced, goods are consumed, and during this process, there's production activities which has been involved, and where the wages have been paid to the factors of production, and then so there's a circular flow of resources has to be happening in economy. So the education system, the present education system, which I would prefer that the nearby philanthropist, industrialist, they have to found that wherever they have been located, so wherever they want to establish their industrial setups, and those the government has to see that they should frame some policies such that of a ratio of like 40 or 60%, minimum 40% of people to be recruited from the local areas. And when we talk about industries today, because of this artificial intelligence, the laborer's job is going to be vanished in coming days. So we won't be able to find the work for hands. So there's a work only for brains, the intelligence. The student should be made aware of this computing techniques at a very early stage. Whether he is a science student, whether he is from an arts student, from any other disciplinary, but he has to be made aware of this computing techniques. And today the future lies with this transforming the physical methods to an artificial intelligence. So this is so India has an ample opportunity where the next 20 years, India would be in a industrial hub. It has been considered as one of the manufacturing sector, not only manufacturing, in artificial intelligence also. So what I suggest is the more the industry institutions across the country has to take up, and more IITs, IIMs has to be established. More number of student resource has to be absorbed at various levels, and where they have to be given an opportunity to venture into this research and development activities. So in India, we have been most prone, we are lagging behind about this research and development activities, where students were being given less opportunity and they are been not been, we are not able to use their creative minds. A best example is, as we know that Srinivas Ramanujam is the student of this Pachaiyappa's college. We can understand what was his demerits. So as we know that the students are very much particular about their dreams and visions. So we should realize that their dreams and visions is going to be in reality in future days. So when the parents are confident about their living, definitely the students will be more confident to make up their living. So today, the India has been having a very ample opportunity in bringing up a lot of changes into this education system, wherein we can see a lot of hopes are there, and the teachers are the pillars. So we all there is another dilemma and illusion that whether this new online education system or new education policy will definitely is going to reduce the burden of teachers in future. No, definitely not. In future, the teachers are going to be there, and the teachers, the work have been reduced. It is not the teachers to get known to the content, deliver into the classroom. These days are gone. The main purpose of the teachers or the faculties, the today in present coming days is it's not about giving the information, creating, evolving the minds of the students, make them to create, dream, make them to realize, make them to analyze. So we are pushing the students to beyond the limits. So this is what the new education system is all the main objective of it, and we are all as a teacher faculties definitely will going to take up this new paradigm, the new shift which has happened in the education system at a very positive manner. This the rote learning has been gone. It is not about this like knowing the knowledge is not an intelligent no more. Application of knowledge, application of thoughts and ideas is definitely going to be an intelligent being in coming days. So with this, I would like to end my this session, and I will throw away my discussion. Any questions from the audience, you can ask. I would like to thank the management, Pachaiyappa's college management, and Hakim's degree college management for providing me this opportunity to express my views on this new paradigm of this new education system. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Very nice and informative session. Now floor is open. Any question or clarifications can be put one by one in Zoom viewers. With regard to YouTube viewers, you can put your questions and clarification in the chat box. Please ask the questions.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Ma'am.
Yes, I want to ask how the emotional impact of online learning can be reduced.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Your question is about the
Online learning.
online learning. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you talk about emotions, so you must also know that the kids today, before these online classes, they were also been prone to have these mobiles all the time, and they used to enjoy the music. They used to enjoy to see the cartoons, and every parent couldn't. Till today, we are very difficult to avoid the kids to or the children to take away their mobiles. But here, this online education, we are going to make them more easier, more enjoyable videos. It is the institution, the teachers, the way how they are going to make the children to learn the content is very important. Delivering the content at a visual and audio visual mode is very penetrative, and it has been proven very effective mode of education. So this online education, which definitely is not going to have any emotional resilience to the students, the way they are going to take up it's very important. Yes, ma'am.
But till now, the teachers are not well trained in providing the online teaching. So that is why the students are not serious about attending the classes.
Yeah, that is because why the teachers are. I agree with your point, ma'am. Because due to the crisis, the teachers have risen to this occasion. This is the crisis occasion which they have risen and they have given their best. But if once this crisis ends, the teachers has to be made it as the compulsory content. So this is a new education system is going to bring this implementation, that is 60% of offline and 40% of online. So definitely the teachers will being going to be equipped with delivering it in a very efficient manner, ma'am, in future days.
Does anyone want to speak?
Yeah.
Open to all. Please ask any clarifications or questions. Anybody? Anybody to ask the question? Now over to vote of thanks. Now at the end of the session, I call upon Dr. R. Siva, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of History, Pachaiyappa College, to deliver his vote of thanks. Please welcome.
Okay. Yes. Good evening to one and all. I am here before you all to propose vote of thanks. The first of all, our sincere thanks to both the principals of Pachaiyappa College and Chennai and Abdul Hakeem College for Melvisharam for giving us the permission to the jointly organize this 7 days national level faculty development program on teaching development in efficient teaching methods from 23rd 6/21 to 29 6/21. So topic, a paradigm system of education system India. In our special thanks to the resource person in evening, Professor S.M. SHIVAKUMAR, Associate Professor, Head of the Department, PG Studies in Economics at St. Paris the Sales College, Bangalore, who have accepted our invitation and gave a very informative session. Thank you, sir. On behalf of the PG and Research Department of History, Pachaiyappa College, I thank our HOD Dr. R. Saravanan, convener of this webinar, for giving me the opportunities to propose the vote of thanks. We also thank you the organization secretary, Dr. P. Kumaran sir, Assistant Professor, PG Research Department, Abdul Hakeem College, Melvisharam. I thank you, sir. I also thank both college staff members for their cooperation and valuable support in conducting this webinar successfully. Our sincere thanks that comes out from the bottom of the heart to the large member of the participation presence in the webinar, and welcome address to Sheikh Ali sir. Thank you, sir. And also thank you Kavya Selvan, Vechi Vendan, Tamil, Tamerica TV, Gandhi Lelin. Thank you to all. One and all, thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Hope the webinar was useful and informative. We will meet by 5 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for wonderful session. I am Rama Shankar Singh, ex-FO BBU Lucknow. We may leave the session now, or still there is something?
Leave it, sir. Leave it, sir. End of the
Okay,
session. Thank you.
thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. Okay.
I would like to thank all, sir. The management
Thank you,
and the
Professor
college for
SHIVAKUMAR, sir.
providing me
Thank
with
you very much.
opportunity, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
ஆமா சார், சரவணன் சார் ரெக்கார்ட் ஆஃப் பண்ணிடுங்க.
Okay, okay.
அவ்வளோதான் விடுங்க. இப்போ அவன் போற வரைக்கும் பார்ப்போம்.
எல்லாம் போயிட்டாங்கம்மா.
Now the meeting is end. Thank you one and all.